Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Aubrey and today I'm going to do kind of a different video because I've been going through it. So if you read the title of this video, you would know that I, for the past 2 weeks, have had COVID. I just want to start off by saying I just wanted to film this to film my experience and kind of explain how it was like when I had it. Not a doctor, and the only thing that I've noticed with the people that I know that have had it is that everybody has a different experience. Like, it seems like every person that I know that have had it, which isn't that many, and they've been very different. Also, I want to start by saying that I have really bad asthma. I have since I was little, so I'm technically in the high risk group. So ever since the virus first went around, I had been very cautious. Probably tell in some of my videos, but I live in New York City, which is kind of a hotbed. We have basically stayed in our apartment for the past year, and it's been not fun, honestly. But I didn't really want to get sick because obviously I'm a high-risk person because I already have a breathing issue. So I only saw like immediate family for the past year, and I mean, it just goes to show like you can be as safe as you can and like some things still happen. So I want to split this video into two parts. First, I'll go through my symptoms day by day and the actual illness, and then after that I want to talk about what I did and the things that I needed to kind of get myself through it, because obviously it's a virus. There's no medicine that will fix it or take it away, so you can only kind of monitor symptoms, and I feel like I'm really good at that. I take pretty good care of myself when I'm sick. So I have some things that I want to share that I did personally to feel better. When I first got it, I looked up a lot of these videos, or I looked up what people had experienced, so I wanted to share my own. I am now almost a week and a half from when I first got symptoms, and I feel like I'm over the hump of it. I'm feeling a lot better, which is why I was able to even like do this video. So I wouldn't say it was the worst I've ever felt, but like at one given time I had experienced worse pain or worse sickness or whatever. But I will say the one thing that was super annoying is that it was so constant. Like, it wasn't like a quick flu or a quick cold. This was kind of like a constant wave of different symptoms, and I just was sick for much longer. So I have been sick start to end, pretty full on, but not like totally miserable that I couldn't even like focus. So I will say that it was definitely a weird illness. I came in waves. It was very strange. So the person that I know that tested positive on the 8th or the 7th, and then I went into full quarantine and locked myself in my apartment basically. And I first had symptoms on the 9th, so 2 days later. It started with just like a cough, just like a random dry cough and a post-nasal drip, but it was just like an easy dry cough. I felt like very much okay. However, the next day was the 10th, and I started having even more of a cough. But during the day I felt great, and even right before I went to bed I felt like the cough was gone, and I was like, oh, am I feeling okay again? I don't know. I felt like I had no symptoms at all. But then I went to bed, and that night I woke up with a fever and chills. I had chills. You go like hot, cold all throughout the night, and I had a really high fever, fully intense. So that's when I think I had like most of the flu symptoms or most of the virus, and my body was really fighting it off. That was all night, but by the time the morning came around, I didn't have a fever anymore, and I felt pretty okay. I felt totally perfect until the next day. I remember thinking, oh, was that it? Like, that was, I'm okay, like I'm over it. I was wrong. I was like, oh, I'm cured. We're good. I was still obviously gonna stay in quarantine, but I was like, no more symptoms. I'm done. I got past it. That's what I meant when it came in waves. Like, one day I had a really high fever, and then the next day I thought I was cured. But then throughout the next couple days, I noticed, so like the next 2 days, I got really bad sinus pain, and like it was all sinus pressure. Couldn't breathe through my nose, and it was hard to breathe sometimes. Since I do have asthma, I have a lot of different medicines and techniques in order to like cure inflammation. So I feel like I was even like a little bit better suited to handle it because I'm used to, you know, taking shallow breaths and taking my inhaler. I have like treatments I can do, so we were like ready. And I also, my mom got me what's those things called? The things, I'll show you, but my mom got it for me so I could monitor my oxygen levels in my blood. So I stayed really high and I was totally okay. My mom got it for me for Christmas, but it's actually very useful to have. 97% oxygen levels. But it was just like sinus pain and pressure. That was the worst part because then I couldn't sleep and it was hard to sleep for a few days. One thing my mom did tell me was that it really helped to lay on your stomach, and usually it's the other way around. You don't want to feel like smothered when you can't breathe. But for some reason I spent literally hours on my stomach and I had to sleep on my stomach because that was the only way pressure of the sinus and like the chest pain went away. It was really strange. Apparently with COVID-19, for some reason, laying on your stomach really helps. But yeah, that's like my #1 tip, is spend time on your stomach. On the 13th, I lost my smell, but not my taste. So I was a few days into the virus already. I had already felt like I kind of went through it already, but I lost my smell on the 13th. And I still had that like dry cough, I was coughing. And I also tested positive on the 13th. Detected. This positive test results means that you have COVID-19. So since I first got my symptoms on a weekend, we did an at-home test and you have to send it in same day that they're like in the lab and can take a sample that same day. So we did it on the Monday, got the results back on the 13th, and I did test positive. So it said it was detected. Not that I didn't already know, I was like, I already know this. On the 14th, I lost my taste and my smell. And it's such a weird feeling. Like, I've experienced it before when I've had like really clogged cold symptoms and like you're not able to taste very much. But my nose was completely clear. Like I could breathe through my nose, but I just couldn't taste or smell anything. It's very strange. And the tasting thing is super annoying because when you're sick, you just like want those comfort foods. Like I wanted soup. Like I was drinking tea every night and like I couldn't taste it after a while. It was super annoying. But so by the 15th, I didn't have any of the sinus pain or pressure anymore, which was really the worst part for me. I really hated it, and when I can't sleep, I can't like feel better. So when I had sinus pain and pressure and like clogged up and I couldn't breathe very well, that's when I was struggling the most. But by the 15th, I just had like regular cold symptoms. So I had a sore throat, postnasal drip, some coughing, some ear pain because, you know, your sinuses and your ears and everything, they're all connected. So I had some ear pain. I still kind of do a little bit. But yeah, just basically boiled it back down to cold symptoms. But I still had no taste or smell. Today is the 18th and I didn't have taste or smell for the past 3 days. And then by yesterday, I was able to taste a little bit. And today I would say that I have full taste back. My smell is still a little bit gone. Like I can't smell something fully. Like I'll smell a candle and it will smell like very faint, even though I know that it's very strong. So still waiting on the nose thing, but as long as I can taste, I feel better. Today's the 18th. I got my taste back and I just have like mild cold symptoms. I will say that for me, if the cold symptoms continue, I will have like kind of a relapse in a cold. I am starting to feel like maybe I'll kind of get a cold, but I will be testing again within a few days. But I think that I'm over it. Obviously, I'm still quarantining. We haven't left our apartment. We haven't seen anyone. We've stayed totally in our bubble. Like there's a medical seal around our apartment door basically, and we're gonna stay that way until we test negative. However, I am feeling better. So that was my day-by-day symptoms, and now I want to talk about some things that I did to kind of monitor my symptoms, make them better. And I definitely think they totally helped because I feel like I got through it kind of quickly because it can be a long virus and I only had symptoms for about a week. So the #1 thing that I said that you can do is 1, lay on your stomach. That really helped me. And then drink water. The only thing you can do with the virus, like a doctor will tell you, is drink water and get rest. So the best thing you can do for yourself is relax, sleep as much as you can, and drink a lot of water. I was drinking so much water. I had full water bottles, filled it up like 10 times. You just need to flush it out of your system. And then I was drinking an emergency every day. I found that it really helped me feel better. So I had 1 packet of emergency every day. And then since my throat would hurt so much and I'd have like dry symptoms, I would drink a tea every day. That really helped. Keeps your throat not so dry. I took Dayquil and Mucinex almost every day. And I feel like that really helped because I have these symptoms one symptom will continue and then others will come. So like I'll have postnasal drip and that will always be the problem, and then that will cause my throat to hurt, my chest to hurt, me to cough, and all these symptoms. So if I can kind of monitor those symptoms, then it would help me feel better. So Dayquil and Mucinex. And then when I really couldn't sleep at night, I was taking NyQuil, and literally NyQuil is my best friend. That's it. I could not sleep, and literally NyQuil would knock me out. And like I've taken melatonin and things like that, and they don't knock me out as much as NyQuil knocks me out. So I was loving that, because that's the hardest thing for me. I cannot sleep when I cannot breathe fully. NyQuil was my bestie. Get yourself some NyQuil. Yeah, and that's basically all that you can really do. Just take care of yourself. I know mentally I struggled a little bit because it was so long and I really wanted to like work and, you know, get going and do things. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just laying here. You just kind of need to embrace it, because the best thing that you can do for yourself is sleep and relax and let your body rejuvenate and get rid of this virus. You know, reading was really good, although sometimes I couldn't like get comfortable enough to hold the book and things. So watching Netflix and YouTube. Also started a paint by number, because I just like mentally need to be doing something. I picked up a paint by number on Amazon, luckily right before I had to get quarantined, and I spent hours doing it. I'm still not done, and it was really fun and still felt kind of like mentally stimulating, but like not too hard on myself. So that was really fun. Pick yourself up one of those. I loved it. I'll link the one I have down below. But yeah, just need to take it easy. Take it easy. I will update you guys when I know more. Obviously, I'm still quarantined, so still just hanging out in my little apartment. Maybe I'll start filming again just to keep myself entertained, honestly. That was my experience with COVID-19. I went a whole year and I didn't get it, and I feel like I was so close. What can you do? That's all you can do, you know? Stay away from people. Try to stay safe, but if you do contract it like I did, relax, drink water, and hopefully you'll be okay. Thank you so much for watching. Again, this was just my experience. I'm not a doctor and no medical anything, but just want to explain my symptoms and what I did to get myself better. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, because it helps my channel out so much. And I will see you soon, hopefully.